Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Muhammad al-Sharif. We're going to start in like 2 minutes as people tune in, say salam, where they're from. Either we hit 100 people and we get started, or 5 people say salam and we get started. But I need your help because, inshallah, we got an awesome topic tonight. So press the share button and bring in some friends. Let's get together here. And press the get notified, or Muhammad al-Sharif sends his Facebook live love. So we'll get started in a few moments, inshallah. If you tune in later, just fast forward a few minutes until we begin. Saying salam, where you from? Salam, where you're from? This is my right hand. This is my right hand. I'm drinking water with my right hand. Salams, where you from? All those nice things. Oh my God, Facebook's taking forever today. Salams, where you from? I still haven't gotten the first messages. Hasn't arrived. Usually takes, there we go. Nawazish. Alaikum assalam, Nawazish. Where you from? Maria Iqbal. Alaikum assalam, Maria. Maria is, I was going to say Maria's in Saudi before she posted. Thanks for tuning in every day, Maria. Where are you in Saudi? Which city? Jeddah. Which city? Khobar. Kulsum in Pakistan. Alaikum assalam, Kulsum. Welcome. Nawazish in the UAE. Which city, Nawazish? Bahrain. I knew. See, Maria's in Dhahran. I knew it was going to be one of those. Khobar, Dhahran. Mr. Aqib, alaikum assalam, Aqib. Lubna, alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Aqib, are you still in Milton Keyes? And Mario was in Calgary not too long ago. Umar Sharif. You know everybody makes jokes about you, Umar Sharif, right? They're like, do you know Umar Sharif? I get that all the time growing up. Oh, your name's Muhammad Sharif. Do you know Umar Sharif? Yeah, he's on the Facebook Live with me right now. Zahra Salim, alaikum assalam. Asma, alaikum assalam. Asma, I told your... Anyways, I'll tell you later. Maria says, this is just before bedtime and a perfect way to end the evening. MashaAllah, that's awesome. And we have hit 100 people. Come on, people. You know what? Facebook gives you the chance to share with your friends. Why don't you share with your friends? Come on, share with your friends. This will be worth it. Your friends are gonna thank you. They're gonna be like, thank you for sharing this, because today's topic is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be fantastic. Come on, share with your friends. Nobera, I had a post. We're doing a free, the free Visionaire-esque event, Dua versus COVID, and I asked over there, what topics would you like me to talk about? And Salahuddin says, I dare you to cough. Allah Yahdik. Thank you. Wahida's shared. Lubna's sharing. Thank you. Finally. Some reciprocity here. And I asked everybody, what should the topic be? And Nobera suggested this. And I think one more person suggested it. So this is going to be the topic for tonight. Anger at home. So let's begin. The party has started. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi man wala, amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I just have to do this. Good morning, Vietnam. This is your host, Muhammad Sharif, broadcasting during these exceptionally special times, sending love and peace to all our brothers and sisters around the world. Tonight's topic is going to be anger at home, how to extinguish the fire of anger when you are in isolation with your husband or your spouse or your wife or those kids running around making you crazy. Or your mother or your in-laws. Oh my God, if you have in-laws in the house, then you definitely need to share this one with everybody. All right. So let me return back to my normal voice. I'm reading text while I'm talking. I need to stop doing that. So let me begin by sharing with you this story. I was a lot of experiences in Hajj. I went for Hajj for many years, and in one of the years in Hajj, we went through this incredible test. But throughout the Hajj, when people would say things like to me, I was the Hajj leader, and they would say things like to me like, oh, it hurts so bad. And then I would say to them, you mean it hurts so good? And then they would be like, yeah. and it would change the atmosphere, right? Just the change of language. And this is my attitude. Whenever somebody would start complaining, start whining in Hajj, what I would do is I would start doing the labbaik Allahumma labbaik with them. So somebody would be like, oh, the buses came so late. And I'll go, labbaik Allahumma labbaik. And they're like, oh, the bus, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik. And I would get them to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, move them into to talbiyah. And then after we would switch to, it was Eid, and then the Eid, after Eid, that's a very hard day during Hajj, the 10th of Dhul Hijjah. And a lot of people come and they've got their stories of what they went through and they're complaining, and we would just look at them dead center in the face while they're complaining, oh, the buses, the walk, the whatever. And we're like, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, walillahil hamd. So it would totally melt away, the pain that they went through. It would melt away, no complaint. And if they did want to still complain after that, look them straight in the face and do it again. Allahu Akbar, Allah. So the whole group was like this. This has become the staple of our group, that everybody knows. Anybody complains, anybody's whining, anything like this, we just look them in the face and just do the takbirat. So we don't tell them, don't complain. We don't tell them, stop whining. We just remind them of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by exemplifying it in our own, dhikr. Okay. So everything's cool. Hajj goes along. And then we go to the airport. And I went through one of the hardest tests of my life during Hajj. I've been through a lot of tests. And this is actually interesting. So Isra right now, Isra is trained medical professional. She's in Spain. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help her family and people of Spain and Italy and all around the world. And Isra said something. She said, or there was somebody she quoted, and she said that the very calm person, and if you see her get nervous, then everybody should get nervous, a nurse. And I used to say the same thing in Hajj. I would tell people not to fear, not to get scared, but if they see me nervous and scared, they need to be very nervous and scared, because I've seen lots of things during Hajj. They need to be nervous and scared. So we went to the airport. Hajj was done. It's like, hey, you know what? Everything's finished. And then, to keep a long story short, the airplane that we were chartered to leave from Jeddah left without us, and we had to wait for that plane to come back. So we were waiting for the plane. Whenever I ask people, how long did you wait for a plane? They'll say something like, we had to wait for 3 hours. We had to wait for 8 hours. We waited in the airport for 40 hours, 40 hours, which is like 2 days. So We waited for 40 hours in the airport. We were sleeping in the streets of the old Jeddah airport. and then it was so hard, and there was so much anger, and you know, everybody just sitting around, and it was cold, and there was women who were pregnant in the group. And then I got to a point, I think like in about 34 hours into it, it was Dhuhr time. And I made the intention, this is after everything I've been through and I had patience all throughout, I made the intention to punch somebody's face out. I literally made the intention. I'm like, I'm waiting for anybody to say anything, and I'm gonna pull out my Wolverine claws and I'm gonna cut them up. I was so mad. I got like, I'm finished. I'm done. It's over. And I made the intention. You know when they say premeditated? I was premeditated. I was ready to go. So I went and I made wudu, and I'm like, come on, somebody say something. Somebody say anything. This is what happened. Can you imagine what I looked like with an intention like that? I must have looked really scary. So one of the brothers saw me come out of the wudu area in the Jeddah airport. He saw the look on my face. And you know what the first thing he said to me? He said, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah. And I didn't want to say it with him because I knew what would happen. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Walillahil hamd. And all my defenses dropped. And I started crying. And I said, why should I lose my patience? What am I going to get out of it? SubhanAllah, we prayed Dhuhr. And I gave a speech after Dhuhr in the airport as we were waiting. And I told everybody, you know, about all the hardships and the pains that other people have been through. And we reminded myself that we haven't been through those hardships. And yeah, it's a little waiting in the airport or waiting at home. But alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has protected us. And soon after that, alhamdulillah, the airplane came and it was all good and everything passed. So here you are, you're in isolation. You're at home. And, you know, one day it sounded like, yeah, I get some extra sleep. It's kind of fun. Second day, yeah, I'll watch a little bit of Ertugrul and stuff like that. I'll get some work done. But now as the days are moving forward, you might find yourself starting to get a little cabin fever. Cabin fever is this natural human thing that when you're stuck in a cabin, maybe it's raining outside, you can't go outside, you get very kind of like anything, you're what I would say your fuse is really small, meaning very little can trigger that fuse and you start snapping at people and getting angry. And may Allah protect us if you have in-laws in the house or husband and wife, and things can go from, I know we're joking about this now, we're not really joking about it, but it can even get violent, meaning like husband and wife getting into, you know, domestic fights, and may Allah protect us, can even go to another level. So here today, inshallah ta'ala, I want to share with you ways for you to calm that down, relax, and how to deal with cabin fever. So here are 3 things from the sunnah that the Prophet ﷺ taught us, that when somebody gets, like first off, a man came to the Prophet ﷺ. You know, there's a hadith that everybody's familiar with, when the man came to the Prophet ﷺ and asked, who's most worthy of my companionship? And the Prophet ﷺ said, your mother. And he said, then who? And they said, your mother. And he said, then who? And he said, your mother. And that's a hadith that everybody remembers, right? But we also need to remember the hadith of when the man came to the Prophet ﷺ and said, give me advice. And the Prophet ﷺ said, La taghdab, don't get angry. And here the Prophet ﷺ didn't qualify it. He didn't say don't get angry, but get angry in other circumstances. There's no qualification for don't get angry. Prophet ﷺ said, don't get angry. It's not part of who you are. you're a Muslim, you don't get angry. And the man said, okay, give me some more advice. And the Prophet ﷺ said, don't get angry. And the man said, now give me some more advice. And the Prophet ﷺ said, don't get angry. And the hadith says, فَمَرَّرَ مِرَارًا قَالَ لَا تَغْضَبْ. He kept asking, give me some more advice. And the Prophet ﷺ kept telling him again and again, don't get angry. So that's the characteristic, the sunnah that somebody wants to aspire to. Now I'm saying this, but a lot of people really need to hear it, because it seems that Muslims, I mean, it's human nature, but it's, whenever, typical Muslim, they're going to show some angry dude, screaming on the news or something like that. And they're like, and now we have the Muslims. We don't want that. The Prophet ﷺ was always smiling. Companion who, when he became Muslim, he said, I never met the Prophet ﷺ except that he was smiling. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And of course, something that I wish that I can build it up more, and for you to also remember that that's the sunnah. So here are 3 ways from the sunnah on how to deal with anger. Number 1 is to keep quiet. إِذَا غَضِبَ أَحَدُكُمْ, the hadith says, إِذَا غَضِبَ أَحَدُكُمْ فَلْيَسْكُتْ. If you find yourself getting angry, then shut up. Just shut up. Keep your mouth quiet. Anything that comes out of your mouth is not going to be good. It's like your brain has been hijacked with this anger, and anything that comes out of your mouth during that anger moment is not going to be good. It's probably going to provoke, and it's probably going to lead to more anger. So if you find yourself in isolation at home, somebody made you angry, and I won't say made you angry, things happen when we're in a weak state. Things that normally don't make us angry start to make us angry, right? So not blaming. But if you find yourself what you're going to say is going to be something out of anger, then uskut, be quiet. Silence. Just say, you know what? I'm going to take a quiet moment right now. Somebody else is talking, quiet. It's almost like anger, it takes 2 hands to clap. So if one person is saying something, in order to put out that flame, you have to take away the oxygen. You have to take away, the things that'll ignite that fire. You have to take it away, and that is being quiet. So the Prophet ﷺ, first advice is when you start to feel yourself starting to get angry, then keep quiet. And not with keep quiet, you're not like give the person an ugly stare. That's not being quiet. That's provoking too, like staring at them, I'm angry, but I'm gonna be quiet. You know what I'm talking about. It's just smile and silence, s'il vous plaît. The second thing that you want to, from the sunnah, the Prophet ﷺ saw someone get angry, and the Prophet ﷺ said that I know a statement that if this person said it, all this would go away. All his anger would go away. The Prophet ﷺ said, لَوْ قَالَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. That if the person said, أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. So when you find yourself starting to get angry, or you're even in anger, you say, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. I have a funny story since I'm on the topic of, telling you times when I've gotten angry because it doesn't happen very often. Yeah, right. So I have these stories. So one time, one of my biggest pet peeves is people who park so close to your car and they block your door. I hate that. And I'm always, parking far away. It's the Canadian thing. I need my space. I'm always, finding places in parking lot far away. So one time I parked super far away, and there was no need for this person to do what they did. They parked so close to my door. There was about 3 millimeters, 1 inch for our American friends. That's not the exact conversion, but you get that. It left me 3 millimeters to open my door. I was so mad. And then this time I said, you know what? I am going to astaghfirullah. Like I said, I've only thought of this once. I'm just telling you all these times that I've gotten angry. I made the intention, I took my keys out, and I said, I am going to cut this person's car. I heard about people doing that in Winnipeg. It's such a Winnipeg thing to do. I'm going to take my keys and I'm going to scratch up his car. How dare he park his car that close to my car? So I took my keys out and I looked into this guy's car, and I was ready to to scratch up his car. How dare he park this close to me? And you know what I saw? You know what I saw inside the car? The person had a ta'weez wrapped around his rear view mirror. The ta'weez, I literally, I'm looking in the car, I'm so mad, and it says on it, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem." So I was like, oh man, I'm the shaitan in this scenario. The guy's got "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem" in his car. And then so I said to myself, I'm not encouraging you to put ta'weez up in your car, but at this point it saved his car from Mr. Shaitan. May Allah protect us. So alhamdulillah. So that's the second thing. If you get angry, you want to say "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem." A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Again, not in a provoking way. If you have a spouse or an in-law and they're getting angry and you're like "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem," if you say it in a provoking way, you're going to provoke the person. So and that's not a good intention. You want to say it to the person like "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem." What I call it is the DJ voice, low and slow and quiet. "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem." And they'll be like, "Don't provoke me." "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem." Quiet, slow. "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem." You're bringing their heartbeat down slowly, quietly. Third thing from the sunnah that you want to look at when you are, if you find yourself getting angry, is changing position or going and making wudu. These are two different hadith. So one of them, the Prophet ﷺ said, if you get angry and you're standing, then sit down. And if you're sitting down while you're angry, then you should lie down. That's one hadith. So sitting down and lying down. Another thing that a person should do is, if they get angry, they should go and make wudu. The Prophet ﷺ said that anger is a fire from shaitan, and fire is extinguished by water. So if any of you gets angry, they should go and make wudu. And so the thing that you're learning here is change your state. So if you need, in these times when you're like isolated and you see some anger getting in, go into another room, go to a kitchen table, maybe go and lie down, something like that. Switch the positions that you're in. We are done now. Alhamdulillah, we went a little bit longer today. Jazakallah khairan for keeping up with me here. We went a little bit longer today, but I want to finish off with two last things. And one of them, you might not relate it to anger so much, but in these times when you're isolated at home and you're with family and things are getting a little tense, I want you to remember the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, "Ar-Rahimuna yarhamuhum ar-Rahman, irhamu man fil ard, yarhamukum man fis sama." The Prophet ﷺ said, the merciful people will receive mercy from the merciful, subhanahu wa ta'ala. The merciful people will receive mercy from the merciful, meaning Ar-Rahman, Allah, will give you mercy if you show mercy to other people. Irhamu man fil ard, have mercy on those who are on earth, and Allah will have mercy, and the one in the heavens will have mercy on you. So here, when you're at home, sometimes the person that you think is fighting with you or provoking with you is actually playing with you. I want you to remember that. The person that is provoking you at home may actually be somebody who just wants to play with you. So it could be like your son and daughter, if you have children, and they want to play with you. They just want to play, but it's provoking you and you're getting angry. And remember, at that point, the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, that the merciful Ar-Rahman will have mercy on you if you have mercy on those on the earth. Maybe husband and wife, one of them slept good, drank well, and the other one didn't, and they just want to play. They're like, poke, 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 poke. You're like, no, don't poke me. It's all right, but remind yourself that to have mercy your brothers and sisters and the people in your household. The other thing that I want to remind you of, again, may not necessarily normally be connected to this topic of anger in the home, but that is the hadith of smiling. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Ibtisamuka fi wajhi akhika sadaqah," that your smile in the face of your brother is a charity. And so as you're home and you're self-isolating with your family, remember to smile. Remember to smile and remember to have mercy. And inshallah ta'ala, when you put all these things together, then great things will happen, inshallah. And we are done. Jazakallah khairan for tuning in. I want to remind you guys, we have a open and free event. Normally in Ramadan, we do Visionaire, which is designing dream du'as. And during that time in Ramadan, it builds community. We have an awesome community. We build hope for the future. We design our du'as, connect our du'as to Ramadan. We are now having this. We're doing a Visionaire-esque type of one-day event, and it's free and open to all. And it's going to be this Saturday, the 21st, I believe. The URL for it, to register for it, it is free and open to everybody. You're welcome to invite anybody that you want, is visionaireramadan.com/community. visionaireramadan.com/community. If somebody can write that, if somebody knows the URL for real, if you can type that in the comments so other people can see it and click on it, inshallah ta'ala, and then later on after I'm done, we'll share some stuff. Jazakallah khairan for tuning in, all ye from around the world. This is Muhammad al-Sharif sending love and peace to all of you. I wish you all the best, and I wish you great success in this special time, and inshallah ta'ala we all come out of this with the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.